Hi guys, Will here from WB Trading and welcome back. If you're new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe notification and tap the bell icon so that you don't miss any of the free content I share with the trading community here on YouTube. So I've had quite a few messages and emails and questions about my higher time frame bias bar strategy over the last few months after I've been calling trades live here and there over on Twitter. And in fact, every single trade that I've ever called so far via Twitter has been a win. Hopefully I haven't just jinxed myself there, but I just wanted to put a quick video together today so that I can do two things. Firstly, I'm going to walk you through the strategy and how it works by taking a trade with you live. And secondly, I'm going to get the questions that you've all been asking answered throughout the video too. So I'll start by explaining the strategy to you. We're here on IG. And the basis of this strategy is identifying one particular bias bar on the higher time frames, those being the daily chart, the weekly chart, and in rare cases a monthly chart, but most often the daily chart. So the first part of my process is every evening around 8 to 9 p.m. What I'll do is quickly scan through the currency markets. Reason being the setup seems to statistically perform best on currency markets. And all I'm looking for is the bias bar itself. You know, it literally couldn't be simpler in that respect. As soon as I see the bias bar I'm looking for, I then select the market, open this up and move down to a 1 hour time frame to plot the setup itself. Now, the easy part here is identifying the bias bar. You know, anyone can do that. Even a goldfish could do that. The hard part, and the part that took me weeks and months of testing to get right, is actually nailing a very precise entry price. That means we're actually filled on the trade as we use an order to execute, and that means the trades are as high risk reward as possible. Now, the win rate we have via this strategy is an extremely rare and unusually high 70% or so, depending on the opportunities selected. And again, as this strategy is mechanical, all we do is identify the bias bar, map the setup, place an order, and walk away. You know, zero trade management required, zero tampering with the trade, etc. So here's an example of a trade right in front of us here on pound euro. I've identified the bias bar just a second ago. Here we are on a 1 hour chart. I've already mapped the setup just a second ago. So the strategy has told us exactly where we need to place our entry to get short. And I'm going to show you just how simple and precise and just how easy to trade this edge is. So let me get my order placed. Let me get this sized accurately. There we go. And target wise, we just use the most recent low if we're getting short, or the most recent high if we're getting long. So let me drag my limit down and we're just targeting 2R. We could push it slightly further, but let's just say 2R via this trade. So we're just looking to double our money here. And again, as the win rate is so high via this strategy, smaller targets are more than acceptable because we know that on the vast majority of trades, we're going to get to target. Right, so that's us done, and that took, what, no more than 5-10 minutes. Now, I am going to keep an eye on this over the next day or so, and every time I check in on this, I'll record my screen and talk you through what I'm doing and what's happening. Right, just back, and we're now at the start of the next session. It's just after 8 a.m. in the morning and we're looking good so far. Price is moving towards our order. So let's see if we can get filled either this morning or this afternoon, hopefully. Now, typically these trades can take anywhere from a day up to 2 or 3 days to fill an order and move to target, but we'll see how we go. We might not even get filled on this in all honesty, and sometimes we do just head straight to target, but I'll pause this for now and I'll come back to you with an update later on. Right, just back, and it's just approaching 1 p.m. and as you can see, we've been filled short an hour ago. Our position has been opened and we were filled by literally one single pip plus spread, which just goes to show how precise this setup is in regards to entry point. Now, I have cast a stop above the recent high, and that's one of the strategy rules. And in this case, the stop was slightly wider than usual, but hey, a stop needs to be where it needs to be based on market structure, doesn't it? And again, with a win rate up in the 70% range, a 2-hour target is more than acceptable. So trade open, stop and target in place. And again, as the strategy is completely mechanical, there's absolutely nothing to do here now but let this either stop us out or hit target. There's no worrying about this, no scaling out, no adjusting our stop or target, nothing. So again, I'll pause this for now and I'll come back to this later in the evening with an update. Right, just back, and it's approaching 8 p.m. now on Friday night, and we're literally 2 pips from target. And although I'm pretty much as sure as you can be that we'll get there in the end, I'm not going to argue and miss out by literally 2 ticks. So let me get this closed out. There we go. Right, done and dusted. And that was pretty much an absolutely textbook trade via the higher time frame bias bar strategy. And I mean, it does not get much easier than that, does it? 10 minutes of looking for the setup, order placed, and then 24 hours later, target hit, £299.12 banked, and another 2 are in the bag. Again, it's an extremely simple strategy. Now that the hard work has been done in regards to, fine-tuning the stats and the setup itself, that was the hard part. And this now has to be the simplest and most effective strategy that I have within my strategy toolkit at the moment, hands down. I really, really love these setups, especially for how little time and effort's required to trade them so effectively. Anyway, that's that trade done and dusted. I hope that you enjoyed taking a look inside the higher time frame bias bar strategy with me today. If you have any thoughts or questions on any of the above, please do feel free to visit the comments section below the video. I'll happily get those answered for you. Please do subscribe if you haven't, and as always guys, trade with edge, with consistency, and I look forward to having you back here on the channel soon. Thanks guys.